Hey amigos, what's happening? Hey look, I just got back from Slidell, Louisiana, meeting with Shredder Youngblood, and what a great guy. But anyway, this next video is going to be, well, it is the day where it has come where I finally get to take the Softail to scooters and let Mark do something with it. So what I'm going to do right now, it's probably not going to get fixed today, but at least it's a start, right? So right now I'm going to get this canopy all opened up, and hopefully with this cool weather that we got going on, and you know, these Evos don't like cold weather, so I'm going to see if this thing will start. So let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, let's see if this thing starts. I'm going to prop this camera up right here. And okay, here goes nothing. How about that? This thing normally does not like cold weather. So now I need two hands so I can get this thing to stand and idle, because the choke won't stay all the way out. So hold on a sec. So anyway, today's the day where I finally get to take this thing over to scooters and let Mark see what he can do with it. I'm going to leave the motorcycle with him, I'm pretty sure. He said that he wants to keep the fender on the bike because, look, this thing is a little offset a little bit from when whatever it was came down and smacked this thing right here. But he says he can make it look like nothing ever happened to it. So I'm going to let this thing warm up, and we'll see you guys at scooters, all right? Perfect. That good? Okay, we made it into the shop, guys. That was kind of fun. I'm slowly manipulating this motorcycle into the shop here with the camera in one hand and the handlebars in the other, and trying to operate a clutch. What a challenge, you know? But anyway, this over here is Mark. Mark's the man. He says he can make it look like it never happened. Isn't that right?
That's exactly right. We're gonna reverse the collision process.
That's right. I never heard it put that way before, but he definitely knows what he's talking about. How long have you been doing this?
I'm 72, and I first started with motorcycles and cars when I was 14, so I don't have a calculator.
So in other words, longer than JP Cycles has been around, Fog Hollow, eBay, and many generations to add to that. So I'm gonna get this costume off, and I'll get right back with you guys. Because I got hit right there, you can kind of see it got knocked off center a little bit. Right. Yeah, that's the purpose of leaving it on the bike though, so you can actually see. Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm gonna put the camera away, and we'll see you another day, okay? And the missus is going to come by and get me. We're going to go home, and then I'm going to come back later and get the bike while you do the rest of the stuff.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, come back tomorrow, get the bike without a fender, and he's going to do his magic, his abracadabra, and all that fun stuff. So until then. Okay, it's the next day. Mark said I can come get my motorcycle, but not because the fender is fixed, but because I'm just going to keep the bike while he works on the rest of the fender. So no doubt, I guess he done his magic by straightening the fender up and using the front wheel as a reference. But the missus is driving me up there right now.
Driving Miss Daisy. Driving Mr. Daisy.
I'm going to cut that part out. Anyway.
Okay, start over.
So let's see what the plan is next. I am curious how Mark's going to do this, so I'm going to ask and play 20 questions with him, maybe, and see what he plans to do to get it going, or to at least get it looking like it never happened. All right, we'll see you guys there. Oh, and the door's opening. Let's go see what Mark has done. Oh, she's naked. Look at that.
Fenderless.
It says I'm fenderless, right? What all did you do so far?
I just got it twisted into shape before the brackets were mounted to the front end. It was over to the left, about a quarter of an inch too far.
Only thing left to do is just kind of fix that up, huh?
Yeah, the only thing left to do is the hard part.
So that's like the code for one color right there, and that's the code for the other. Oh wait, I don't know what I'm looking at.
90303 is the number for the birch white, and then the other number is for the silver.
Apparently these days, if you got an antique bike with an antique paint job, you can still get the colors that you need if you got damage.
I use PPG paint because that's who mixes Harley Davidson paint. So since your bike doesn't have a data plate on it like an automobile that has a paint number, if I were to just go get this paint, I would say I need white for a 94 Harley Davidson Heritage Softail. And they would look up 1994, and then it would have all the model names, and then it would show the white that was on this motorcycle.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So apparently, guys, it's not hopeless. I remember I said in that one video, I'll never find another Fender with that paint job. And the one thing I didn't say that I was also thinking is I'll never find a paint that'll, but apparently I was wrong. So. Okay guys, it's 2 weeks later. The weather has not been very nice to us. It's not been very conducive for paint. As Mark told me, he didn't have a heated paint booth, and we've been having one heck of a winter going on. But nevertheless, we're at that moment now. We're ready to put the fender onto the motorcycle, and Mark's doing whatever, I don't know why he's taping it up. I guess that's to keep the paint from hitting the thing, right? Doing installation. Okay, yeah. See, goofy me, if I'd have tried to put this on myself, the new paint job would just basically have a bunch of nicks in it. But anyway, I'm gonna let Mark get done doing what he's doing, and then I'll ask him how he did what he did and all that other kind of stuff.
I can talk while I tape.
Oh, you can?
I can. Ask me a question.
Okay, Mark, so what was the first order of business?
Because the fender was bent at the mounting point, I pre-straightened some of the damage before I removed it from the motorcycle. Having gotten it somewhat straight, I took it off the motorcycle. The next step would be to thoroughly degrease and clean the fender before attempting any sanding or any grinding. The next step would be to hammer the dents out from the inside of the fender to relatively the same preconditioned shape. I always undercoat my fenders. It keeps rock damage from occurring. An undercoating has got a lot more resistance to rocks and chips than regular factory paint underneath. After it's undercoated, I mount it to a sawhorse that I've constructed for motorcycle parts. I then ground off the area that was damaged, used a polyester body filler to make the repairs, and then I primed it. After it was primed, it was thoroughly sanded all over and then prepped for paint. The first color was the white, so I masked off the areas that were silver and sprayed the white, and then I reverse masked it and sprayed the silver, covering up the white. Then I uncovered everything and reapplied the factory pinstripe width and color, and then the whole fender was re-cleared with urethane clear. After 2 days dry time, it was wet sanded with 2000 grit sandpaper and then buffed. Prior to doing any of the repairs, all the parts were removed from the fender, and then prior to installation, all the parts were replaced. So that's it.
And so the finished product is what we got over here, right? So this is it. If I weren't mistaken or didn't know any better, I would think nothing happened to this thing. I mean, check it out. Yeah, it got smacked right freaking there, guys. And like he said, this whole thing was knocked off to the side about 1/4 of an inch. I mean, this is like a perfect paint job. I mean, he even did the pinstripe. You did the pinstripes by hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
I can dig it. He proved what he was talking about. He said his job is to make it look like it never happened. So I say it looks like nothing ever happened to this thing. So anyway, so I'm gonna quit yammering my hammer, and I guess we're gonna get to installing this thing, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get out of your chair now. And boom, there it is, guys. Check it out. Looks so natural, looks so sleek. The pinstripes are just awesome. Perfect color. I tell you what, guys, if you're within a 500-mile radius or a 1,000-mile radius, I know it's kind of extreme, maybe a 100-mile radius, and you need some work done, this is the place to go. Scooters here in Saucier, Mississippi, and this is the man who can make it happen.
And I have one more thing to say, something that I breezed over, but it's very important. If anybody is trying to do their own paint work, the very, very first step is to clean everything with a strong degreaser. I've met painters that have had 20 or 30 years experience, and they think sanding a body part is just going to clean it. When you sand an unclean surface, you drive a contaminant further down into the paint. So it needs to be washed with a degreaser before you ever put any sandpaper on. Never forget that.
Spoken like a true professional. So this is the, what do you call it, the bee's knees, the Moses of all body work and paint, and the dude knows what he's talking about. As you can see, that's the living proof right there. It looks like it's just a brand new fender, like nothing ever got done to it. Any of you guys who need some body work done or some paint job work done or whatever, and you don't know how to do it yourself, like I just did, come to this guy right here. He can make it look like it never happened, like it came right off the showroom floor. So anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and you guys keep the rubber side down, and you be good to yourselves, and thanks a lot.